Okay, so welcome to the YouTube video. First off, I've been grinding a whole bunch of Grandmaster Nightfalls, and this is the best build that I have found. First things first, there is Void Shields and Solar Shields, but you don't really have to deal with, there's Arc and Solar Shields in this strike. You don't really have to deal with the Solar Shields if you do what I'm doing. So, first things first, for your teammates, I would run a Omnioculus Hunter or Strand Hunter with a Stasis Warlock or Arc Warlock if you don't want to run Stasis. But a Stasis Warlock and an Omnioculus Hunter are the best teammates for this. Stasis Warlock because then none of you have to run a hand cannon or glaive to stop unstoppables. Void Hunter with Omnioculus because then it can just run through the maze, or Strand Hunter because if you have a Strand Hunter you get unlimited grapples during the super and you can just go right through the maze, and then if your two teammates stay back, they can just run through with no weight of darkness or ads to clear other than moths, and it makes it really, really good. Omnioculus is really good for the boat part, especially because then you can just sit there on the boat while everything else is around you, and you can just sit there and not do anything. Um, for my build, though, for Titan, there isn't very many good builds, like solid builds out there. You could run a stasis build that might be good for the boss room. You could run a thunder crash build, but this has been the most effective for me. I tried a arc build and a void build and it just didn't really work. So, into the build. First off, I'm running a void breach and void volatile build and finishers. I have my armor set up so that I can do a whole bunch of finishers, and this is the thing I did with it. So, the Ward of Dawn with Helm of Saint 14 that you can see I have on right there is really good. It stuns or blinds all the thralls and acolytes in the boss room, second room, all the rooms where there's all of those annoying thrall that always kill you and wipe your team. This helps combat that. You can run these are all four of these are just personal preference, that's up to you. But controlled demolition is really good for volatile. If you hit a target with void ability or volatile, it makes them, or volatile explosion, it makes them volatile. Now, a volatile explosion is what you get when you kill something that's volatile. Um, that just helps with chaining volatile to other things. If you run Bastion, it's insanely good for this. And you might be wondering, why don't you run Offensive Bulwark, which is what most Ward of Dawn people do, the Void Overshield while you get your Ward of Dawn. But what a lot of people don't know about Helm of Saint 14 is it gives you a Void Overshield while you're inside of your bubble. So there's no point in using this. This just makes it so that you and your teammates get a shield while you're behind your barricade, which is arguably better. For fragments, Echo of Vigilance has saved me countless times. It is a must pick. Echo of Starvation has saved me more times than I can count just because of Devour. It helps you stay alive after you kill a thrall or an ad while a champion is shooting at you, or a light bearer, or heck, all a cool. If you kill them and pick up a void breach that they drop or an orb of power, you're at pretty much full health. Finisher, final blows grant invisibility. Now this is what gets into my finisher build. A lot of times Void Hunters will run finisher builds, but I find that it's not getting up to do the finisher that's the problem. Generally, what is the problem is when you do after the finisher is when you die. So finisher final blows grant invisibility, and Echo of Cessation makes it so that finisher final blows make everything around you volatile. So when everything around you is volatile, if you shoot them, it explodes. It makes a volatile explosion that makes everything else volatile. That's kind of the um, synergy between controlled demolition and Echo of Cessation. Now that's really good in and of itself, but with these weapons I'm running, it makes it really, really good. So Wishender is a must pick for this strike. Wishender or Arbalest. It gets rid of the barrier champions like nothing you've ever seen before, and it's just insane for boss damage as well if you run out of special or heavy ammo. Now, a lot of people may be asking me why I run a Forbearance grenade launcher instead of like a Truth Teller. Well, first off, I don't have a good Truth Teller, and I don't know if Truth Teller can get chain reaction. Chain reaction is really good for taking out the thrall and acolytes and the screebs in the maze. If your hunter ends up dying, chain reaction grenade launcher just helps get rid of the screebs, screeb after screeb, you know. And the swarm, a lot of people for this run a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher for damage, which is good, don't get me wrong, but if you're on the swarm, then it helps you take out those moths that you can't really take out using Wishender or Forbearance. The swarm, my role, has well-rounded and Vorpal, which is, in my opinion, a god roll for this because I mean, you throw a grenade at something, a champion makes them volatile. You throw a shield at them, and it hits a volatile explosion on them. And then you do this, which with well-rounded and Vorpal helps annihilate any champion, or Alakul himself. To make it even better, if you run Heavy Ammo Scout, Heavy Ammo Finder for your Helm of Saint 14, which blinds and gives you an overshield. Fastball shield break charge anytime you break a champion's shield or any shield that matches the weapons you're doing, which is mainly arc shields in this strike, then you get armor charge. This is a must pick. With the arc damage resistance, you are much more. Without arc damage resistance, you get melted by Alakul and the light bearers and the not light bearers, the sword bearers and the champions. You don't stand a chance unless you run arc damage resistance and concussive dampener. Kinetic holster, arc scavenger, because arc scavenger you get forbearance and swarm, so why wouldn't you use it? And personally, actually, I would recommend using arc weapon surge instead of kinetic weapon surge because it gives your swarm much more damage when you have armor charge, which gives you almost 6,000 damage per swarm shot if you throw a grenade and get well rounded times 2 and 4 pull, which is as much damage as Wish Ender, which is what most people do for boss damage anyway. So it's insanely good. Um, Powerful Attraction is not a must pick for this. Healthy Finisher and Proximity Ward, if you're going to be doing my finisher build, are pretty much essential, but Powerful Attraction is just a personal preference for me because I like being on top at all times in the boss room. Pretty much, if you're on top, then you use that. You can get the orbs that are on the bottom. So that is my build. Running 10 resilience, 6 recovery. My stats aren't the best because I'm mainly a PvP player. I don't really do this that often. So I don't know if I said it earlier in the video or not, but I am 7 followers away from 150 followers. It would mean the world to me if you went to Twitch and dropped me a follow. So I am thankful that you guys watched this video, and hopefully this helped out a lot. Even if it's not for Lightblade next time, hopefully there's a Void, Surge, um, Nightfall sooner or later. Hopefully this helps out a lot. Drop some subs, not on Twitch or on Twitch, I don't really care. Drop a follow on Twitch, drop a subscribe on YouTube, hit the like button, it helps me out a lot. I hope this helped you guys a lot, and I know it's a little late, but I figured I'd share this, and I'm running a capture card, so hopefully the audio quality isn't that bad and the video quality isn't that bad. So thank you all for all that you do, and I hope you have an amazing day. See you guys.